A special good morning to Grenada. Yes, the Sister Isles, Gary Q, P.T. Martinique, those of you viewing via GBN TV, whether you're on Channel 7, Channel 11 or Channel 20, good morning. And those of you via Classic Radio. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's the mid-morning buzz. GT with you folks. And who got some guests with me in studio this morning? And let me say good morning to let me get the names right. I want to get the names right. So I know I have Vonette. As there's a saying that goes, ladies first, right? So we have a Vonette Bigfork. Am I right about that?
You're absolutely correct.
How are you? How are you this morning? I'm chit chatting with the lady first. Hope the gentleman will.
I'm fine. Okay. I'm a bit tired, but good. I'm good.
Welcome to Grenada. So I guess should I say again? Should I say again?
No, it's my first time.
First time in Grenada?
Could you imagine?
Come on. That ain't good. As there's a saying, they would say that ain't good.
That ain't good at all.
That ain't good at all. Well, welcome. It's all about, the event that is coming up. We know it's all about the Rhythm of Spice. Tell me, how do you feel to be in Grenada, man?
I tell people, for me, it's like a little coming home. And my grandmother was Grenadian.
I was expecting that.
Yes, come on. Generally, there's a good chance.
You have never had an option of speaking to someone from Trinidad without mentioning they have some Grenadian roots embedded somewhere. Whether it's their great or great. So it's always expected.
From Sotes.
All right.
But
country
I've never been here.
As they would say, country girl.
Yeah, country girl. Yes. But I've never been here. I know I have a lot of family there. I don't know my family very much. That is poor, but I'm happy to be here and excited about what the weekend brings.
All right. Tell me about Vonette. Tell me something about Vonette.
Oh my gosh. That's normally a very hard question because I tell people that could be different on any different day. But today, I'm Afro-Caribbean, Trinbagonian musician. I'll describe myself like that. I've been playing music and performing my craft at home for almost 20 years.
What are your specialties anyway?
I'm a vocalist. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a vocalist, right? So I've been doing this for almost 20 years and kind of do my own thing, create my own events, lead my own band at times, work with a boss at times, like I'm doing this weekend.
All right.
But primarily I started off as kind of like a straight jazz artist, but I've morphed into, I'm a Caribbean girl that I sing what I want, when I want, how I feel.
So you're meshing to all the genres?
More so what we do here in the Caribbean. So just expressing it differently. I think I came into my own and found my own voice when I started kind of experimenting more with what was indigenous to us, expressed in a particular way, So, but that's me.
All right. The option came about, come to Grenada at the part of the Rhythm of Spice. How was it? How's that feeling?
Well, that wasn't even a matter for debate because, this is something that Tony had been talking to Matthias about pre-pandemic. So we had been planning this for a bit, and I'm just really excited. Any opportunity that I get to go out or even to stay right at home and play music, because this is what we do for a living. Yeah. And we just want, we would love to have more opportunities to be able to just play and share and exchange energies with people from other islands, just like we're doing here on this weekend, So
you will think about it, especially with Tony fitted in with the kind of music that you folks are into. Sometimes we get to feel that Caribbean people are not too digest it properly, if you use a word of getting it in.
Right.
How's that?
But that's because of how it's presented. That's there are lots of people still in the Caribbean who associate jazz with a particular kind of feel, swing, bebop, what comes from traditional American jazz. Yes. But jazz has.
It has evolved a lot in terms of how it's presented now.
But what we try to do is to present the music a particular way so that it's familiar, it's palatable, and people could relate to it. So that's why we use our music, or we present our music, or we use our rhythms, or something that is indigenous to us in the Caribbean. So that
sometimes people say, I listen to some jazz, but then you feel like we thinking when you as Caribbean people, we thinking of the soca,
right?
You're thinking of the reggae,
right?
You understand? Right. So sometimes we don't get to gravitate it as we should,
right?
And then sometimes when you sit down and you listen to how it's presented, especially when guys of your nature present it, you get a different feel, a different momentum comes around from it now.
Yes, of course.
And you start to appreciate it.
But you have to give yourself the chance to hear it.
That's the key. That's where the key part of it comes, the chance to really hear it. Because sometimes the atmosphere that you're in and you hear it, that's when you really realize, hey, this is good stuff.
Of course. You just have to be willing to. Give it a chance.
Tony Paul Quartet. Tell me, man, what's up with you now?
Well, so I've known Vonette for a very, very long time, and when we're back home, I work with her. Sometimes I have some things, and she works with me. So I'm a saxophone player.
Yes.
I'm a multi-instrumentalist, so I play flute. I play all the saxes. Sometimes I sing as well.
You
Yes,
dabble.
you
You just dabble. I like to say you dabble in things that comes up.
Yeah. I do things that I enjoy, and hopefully it translates to the audience having a good time as well. I'm very much into music education. One of my jobs back home is actually working at the University of Trinidad and Tobago at the Academy for Performing Arts.
Great.
So I teach there, but performance has always been like my main love, and I used to say jazz, but I think primarily I'm a musician, and I'm a musician that plays the music that I enjoy.
Okay.
So it's no longer about labels, because I think the world and entertainment just in general has become so broad that people tend to now pursue things that are of interest to them. So you talk about soca back home. A lot of soca artists now are mixing some Afrobeat into it because it's interesting and it's what's happening. So it's hip, right?
Yeah.
So you get that kind of thing, and it's the same for all kinds of musicians. It's when we say jazz, that's not really an effective term anymore, because it has some of that.
It's like we christen it into our own way, our own way of music.
We're musicians, and we make music, and,
Yes.
and we do things, like I said, that we hope that people enjoy, but also that bring some kind of fulfillment for us.
How did it started for Tony? How did it started for you? Is it,
You want me to go back to primary
give me the
school?
shorter version.
Let me go, because I can't go back to primary
For
school.
time's sake, give me the shorter
Yeah.
version.
So my parents are both musicians. My mom is a singer. My dad is a trumpet player. So when you're a child, you see your parents do stuff, and it's like, oh, I want to do that too.
You cannot get pushed into that.
I didn't get pushed into it. I kind of fell into it because I was around them. So I started, doing music in high school and everything like that. And as I got more and more into it, I realized that I think regardless of what my parents did, I would still kind of be in it, because it's something that's meaningful to me. So yeah, I've been doing it for about 30 years now.
30 years.
Yeah.
And you continue to do it.
I continue
What
to do it.
continues to have you gravitating towards it?
I think for me it's about the expression and the camaraderie and what you do on stage with the musicians that you work with, because I'm not one that hires musicians that, oh well, yeah, they could well play, so that's why I'm going to hire them. I hire musicians that I can engage with almost like a family situation.
Yes.
So all the musicians that I work with, I can hang with them because I want that kind of energy.
It's like you
on
feel that
stage.
brotherhood.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
a brotherhood, even though
Yeah.
you're not unrelated.
Even though we're not like blood related.
We not just do good brotherhood here.
And the sisterhood.
Yeah. A familial vibe. A familial kind of thing. So that's like a large element of creative music in terms of I think any kind of performance is that you create that energy on stage, and then you bring people into that. And hopefully if you are able to have everybody having a good time and people like connecting and clicking, the audience, they're able to see that. And it's like, okay, this is something more.
Right.
And it's really about the whole experience, I think. And events like Rhythm of Spice, it's about an entire experience. You bring the family out, and there's stuff for the kids. You see young musicians, like teenagers and stuff, playing. It's really, really like broad.
How do you foresee the future of the nature of the music that you do in the Caribbean? How do you foresee the future of it?
Well,
do you see the long haul of it in the future?
Well, I think that everything boils down to access. And I'm not going to say education, because it's not about that. It's about exposure.
Yeah.
So the more people take the chance to just, oh, well, let me check out this live thing that's happening and go and listen to some music that's not specifically like, soca or fet or some kind of something like that,
yes.
where they go and they have the experience of hearing musicians, you know.
I like to describe it as a different distraction.
Yeah. Well,
you know, we have the regular distraction of what we get in terms of going to a soca fete, a regular concert or whatever.
Yeah.
But a concert of this nature is a different distraction.
Yeah.
You understand? The music, there's a feeling of music that you folks do that just brings a different vibe. And you sit down, you sit and you listen, or even in your own private quarters and you listen to music of your nature, it gives you a different vibe.
Yeah.
You understand?
The different emotions, and you know, not every kind of music can fulfill every emotional need. So if you want to be hyped and you want to have a certain kind of energetic vibe, you might listen to soca, or you might listen to something else. If you know, going through a breakup, you might listen to a ballad.
You really don't want to listen to it if you're going through a breakup. You don't want to listen to Mr. Killer, pick it up and run if you're going through a breakup.
You know, so the thing is, I think the more that people open themselves up to experience music from an emotional way, that they might gravitate to listening to different things. It's fine to love different kinds of music, and I think that's what it boils down to.
How would you and Vonette describe the music you do? Is it tough to describe it?
Well, we do some covers. There's some original music in there as well. And it's some music that people would know really well. There's some songs that's like on the charts now that we play, some instrumentally, some with vocals. So it's not something where you come and you sit down for 45 minutes to an hour and the music goes by and it's like, I don't know anything.
What happened there?
Yeah, like I can't relate to anything.
I really like your line of questioning. That's not a question because I'm stumped and I'm hardly ever stumped. But that is a really interesting question, and it's something I'll probably try to apply to myself. How would I describe the kind of song?
I asked a question because sometimes I listen to artists performing and I wonder to myself. What's the thought process between the music that they do?
Right.
Are they liking what they really do, or are they doing it for the doing it? Right. You understand? Right. You know, some artists, soca is making me money, so I go sing soca.
Yeah.
And sometimes you watch their reaction. I'm somebody that pays a lot of attention to somebody, and I kind of detailist in terms of people's reactions. And I would say, are they doing it because they're doing it to make the money? Cause you could see that they're just doing it.
Yeah.
Can you watch them under different circumstances, and you said, hey, is that the person I saw? You understand where I'm coming from. You understand? So that's why I actually describe the music you do. How you just to get a sense to see how you feel.
I tend to not sing songs that I don't connect with.
Okay.
I'm very specific in terms of the songs that I select for any particular context. But I hardly ever play songs because they're popular. I have to like it. I have to connect, because even if it's a cover, then I have to present that song in a very unique way.
In your way now.
In my way.
In your way now.
So it has to resonate with me. So I'm very specific in how I choose songs in general for sets.
I'm happy that you say that. It's just that because it's a popular song and you may hear it's been playing on the radio, but not everybody will gravitate to it.
No, if I
I
don't
know
like
you bring it across in your own way, your own style, your own way of bringing it across, and you get a different reaction to it.
But
even the original piece that comes from.
And I've refound that, but it has to resonate with me. I have to like it. I have to want to sing it. I have to want to tell the story, because that's what we are, especially as vocalists. We're storytellers. So we want to make sure that whatever, after we sing, the story is heard, basically. You understand? And it's received with the intent with which we wanted it to be received.
Certainly, I'm happy to hear that. So it's all about Rhythm of Spice coming up for you Sunday, the 11th of June, folks. Mount Solomon. Lawn.
Yes, the lawn, yeah.
Tell me, what's the anticipation you folks are having for an event of that nature?
You
as a first timer in Grenada, what are you expecting?
I had no clue that I have a couple of followers from Grenada, and they're telling me that they're all coming.
We come in.
I said, wow, I was kind of really
a bit overwhelmed with that.
So I'm looking forward to seeing them. And then if I have any family out there, like Sylvans, I don't know where they're coming from. Will they come now?
Sylvans.
I don't know, but I kind of.
You never know. You just never know. I want to thank you both for coming here this morning. I wish all the best, in terms of the success of the event coming up. Going out to do what you do, as there's a way to say it, break a leg. Not literally.
I never like that because I'm so clumsy.
I want to thank you both. It was a pleasure talking to you. It seemed an interesting conversation. You know, I usually if I had the time, we talk all morning.
Yeah.
You understand? We
could have been talking for
We're talking all morning, but it's a pleasure to have you go on out and do what you do in your own unique way. And I certainly hope you will. And if I want to come back, I come back.
There's also a free workshop tomorrow morning for young musicians. I mean, all the information is on the social media page, but it's like I said, the whole Rhythm of Spice thing. It's the ethos behind it is that it's about developing the arts and culture in Grenada. So every time they bring in artists from the region or anywhere else, those artists work with the young musicians
who are interested in
developing their craft. Yeah.
And you know, it was one of the questions I was thinking as you mentioned. I mean, let me plug you a couple of minutes. You said that you teach this. How does young people accept music in general, especially when you teach it?
Well, I think music in general, whether you use it as your future path and use it for occupation or not, it informs the way that you approach things and the way that you listen to it. So if you want to be a sound engineer or even a radio, a DJ or something like that, if you have a knowledge of music, it informs the way that you view your craft. So having a young musician learn music theory and learn about music and the whole technical aspect of it does not mean that, they're going to go and play classical music or they're going to play jazz. It just means that they have a wider knowledge.
And a foundation has been set.
And a foundation has been set that they can apply to anything that they do musically. So even if they decide to pursue soca or hip-hop or,
They have a baseline.
They have a baseline. That I think is one of the important things about music education. It helps set the tone for what you do with your musical life.
Hey, thank you, folks, once again. Pleasure having you, and hope we see you soon back in Grenada again. I'm assuming it's not going to be her last.
No.
It will not.
Not be her. As I say, it's not going to be your first.
She connects with the family.
You'll be coming back on a regular basis, even just for visiting alone. But you're going to be back in Grenada.
Yes, man.
Sure.
Hey, thanks again.
Most welcome.
All right. Hey, folks, that's how we take a wrap for the Mid Morning Buzz here on Classic Radio and GBN TV. Join us again for another edition.